What is up guys, Spart here and welcome to the video. In today's video I'm going to be covering a few of the changes that came along with 7.1 along with obviously the Arcane mage changes, but there's not really a whole lot going on with Arcane, so I'll just be going over that kind of briefly and just mentioning my thoughts on it and then going into other details. So firstly we got Arcane got a buff. Arcane Blast, Arcane Missiles, and Arcane Orb all got a 17% increased damage bonus, which is nice. Can't really complain about a little extra bang for our buck, but we also got a bit of a nerf, and that is with arcane charges. It increases the mana cost of our spells by 125% now instead of just 100%. And as far as this change goes, I mean, do I enjoy this more? A little bit more damage for a little bit more mana cost. I guess in hindsight, as far as bursting down or just getting more burst, it is nice, but I really don't think that the problem with Arcane Mage in PvP right now lies in the burst. Like, our burst is strong, and if anything, I want a little bit more consistent damage. Like, the mana issue is still, pretty obvious for Arcane. If I don't get any missiles, which, they're a low enough proc chance anyways, it's kind of like playing fire with 20% crit. I mean, you're fishing on those missiles and you can have a dry spell for a really long time, and if that happens in arenas you're basically going to be doing no damage or going from trying to do damage. So I mean the change will be nice, it's going to be a little bit extra burst, but like I said, the problem with Arcane wasn't really our burst. We were good on that, and we just need more consistent damage, and we're going really fast. Like in 2v2, if I'm facing the healer DPS comp, and I kill the DPS and the healer just stand there waiting for me to kill him instead of AFKing out, chances are if I just spam Arcane Blast and I don't get maybe one missile proc, I'm gonna go before he dies, and I'm gonna have to evocate. Now, that doesn't really seem right. That if somebody just stands there and takes the damage at 100%, if I'm at like 60% mana, I'm gonna go before they die. That just doesn't seem right. I mean, Arcane Power helps with that burst because we get reduced cost on our spells, which is nice, but that's not 100% of the time, so I don't know. This buff will be nice, but like I said, I'd rather have more consistent damage, so maybe they could buff our mastery to give us a little bit more regen so we could keep pumping out numbers, but until then, we're just going to be kind of stuck with this, so on to the next feature here, and that is, the one that not a lot of people know about, but I guess it's kind of 50-50 whether you know about it or not, and that is the action cam. They brought it back in 7.1. It's really an interesting feature. It's going to be really handy for content creators and just, getting that extra little angle view. I mean, right now, my camera tool that I usually use, the Free Farsight, has not been updated for Legion, and I mean, this could almost be a nice little alternative. It won't be the same thing, but it'll give content creators a little bit more play with their camera. So basically what you do is you type out /console action cam and then full, and it'll pop up saying like you want to accept the features of this camera and whatnot, and you just hit accept there. And basically it puts, your character is no longer centered on the screen. It puts your character offset to the left a little bit. And I mean, you don't notice it as much if you're zoomed out, obviously, but it's more of a kind of first person thing, so it's going to be nice for recording little clips. Um, as far as it goes in PvP, I wouldn't really recommend it. Like, it's not that great to be zoomed in this far. In PvP, it's kind of narrowing your sight a little bit. But basically, yeah, what it does, along with offsetting, a character on the screen, it also does, and I'm not in the best position to do this actually. I'm just gonna have to jump down here. But basically, what it does is it targets, like your screen will follow whoever you're targeting. And actually, it looks pretty cool. Just dump it off there. Okay, ice block because I don't want to risk blinking. But yeah, go forward. See that infernal up there? I'm going to target it, and this. Okay, maybe not. But yeah, I'll just target somebody, and the screen will follow them as long as they're in front of me. If they're behind me, then it won't do anything. The cam will just return normal. It'll turn a little funky, but yeah, that's another nice little feature. Nothing I'm going to be really doing in PvP or even world quests. Maybe. I mean, my immersion. I don't feel like I'm lacking in immersion in Legion here, but it's a nice little feature. So But I think I've covered pretty much all of that one, and let's move on to the next subject. And I totally forgot to mention, but to disable this, if you ever want to try it out, just type slash no console action cam, and I think it's end. Nope. Off. Okay, it's not. Yeah, so slash console action cam off. So the next subject here, I don't really see it mentioned in the patch notes or anything, but I'm not positive if it's intended or not. But it looks like they made all the world PvP quests like cross realm. So basically, on the first day I went into 7.1, did some world PvP quests, and basically it was a bit of a madhouse in the free for all quest because there are people from every different zone or not zone, every different realm just kind of combined all into one, which is going to be pretty nice. My server, it's kind of dead as far as PvP, and there weren't always people down there doing the events, so it really didn't feel like world PvP was going on. But with this new cross realm sharing and PvP zones, I definitely think it'll add a little bit more to those those players that are on these low pop PvE realms. They can still get some PvP combat in. So that'll be kind of a nice change. It'll make it a little bit harder to get footage from there if it's just a madhouse, but who knows? It can kind of go either way. It can be a big pain in the ass, but it could also pay off if you get a really sick clip and you won't have to hunt around as much for those. So the next update here that I want to talk about is the Nagrand Arena update, and it's something that totally just slipped through my mind. I didn't even remember about it as soon as 7.1 hit. But this update, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, when you stare at something for so many years and playing the same thing, to have it get basically a facelift is just amazing. I mean, I guess the attention to detail or stuff like the ground is in the same tone color. It almost feels like they legionized it. So the new Legion arenas, I mean, they actually feel like you're in the zone. Like, it doesn't feel like you're confined to a little square box fighting other players and a same colored flooring all around and just boring. It feels like you're fighting in the actual world zone, and that's kind of what Nagrand feels like they did to it. They just add the immersion, add the feels to it. So yeah, but enjoying that one so far. It's definitely going to be nice to see that in a lot of PvP movies or montages. Just nice facelift. So alright guys, so the last but not least change that I want to talk about here is something that I don't think it was really mentioned in the patch notes, but it's so nice. So, for how long you've gotten your traits on your artifact, and you're like, oh, this is so cool, I want to link it to my friends and just show them what I got and get them hype about it. You couldn't do that. You had to read it off to them or type it out. But now, the day has arrived. We can finally link all the traits in our artifact weapon. And our friends can get excited with us, and they know why we're excited for getting this golden dragon trait, and we don't need to explain it to them. They can just see it for themselves. Because Blizzard text is so much more hype than you talking to your friends or typing it out yourself. It's those brackets, man. Those brackets on the color. So, but that'll be it for this video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite features are about 7.1 in the comments below, and until next time, this is Spart out.
Flowers through the pavement, find a way to break. You don't have to say it, gotta be this way.